Hey, welcome to Dwayne's Spin Stop. We are actually in season 2. This is pre-recorded, by the way, so if you're trying to chat with us, I probably will be on the chat while I'm broadcasting this, so feel free to chat, but Adrian will not be here at this time. Yes, sadly, he would be in Shanghai.
Shanghai?
Yep. Learning Mandarin.
Yeah.
Chinese Mandarin.
That's the one, yeah.
Adrian also incidentally speaks Japanese. Now, it's really rare that we actually have an Angmo who speaks Japanese and Mandarin. I mean, seriously, I think you're the first person I know that speaks that many Asian languages. And so that's the reason why he's on the show, because this is very unique. Adrian also does modeling, and he also is a huge gamer. So in today's episode, we're going to be talking about gaming, modeling, and things related to that in terms of beauty and those kinds of things, as well as speaking Asian languages. So let's get things started. Thanks for being here. You're all the way from New Zealand, Auckland, right?
I lived in Auckland, but I'm originally from a very small town that no one in New Zealand has even heard of. So.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Yeah. Okay, and what town is that, by the way?
Te Aroha, which means the love in Māori.
How do you spell that?
Te space Aroha. So you say that to Japanese people and they're like, Aloha! You're from Hawaii! No, Te Aroha.
Okay.
Yes.
Right. So thank you for being on the show.
Not a problem.
Let's start off with health and fitness and things like that, which we always do. It's health, technology, and then entertainment, right? Okay. So health-wise, we actually, while Adrian was in Singapore, we actually went to, finally, for me, to the Southern Ridges. Well, we didn't actually make it to the Southern Ridges, which I believe is somewhere at the Harbourfront area. We started out at the Kentridge Park area, and then it kind of rained, and then we were late for our movie with our friends, so we ended up sort of like leaving the trail and then sort of, going to have some lunch before the movie. But nonetheless, we have some exciting footage for you. So let's start off by playing that footage. And we actually get to hear some of Adrian speaking Japanese, so it's very apt at the same time. And Adrian's so embarrassed. But
and some of it's completely out of context.
In spite of being a model, you're quite shy.
I'm incredibly shy. All models generally are, believe it or not.
Right, so I'm going to put this... No, not all models. I'm going to make this slightly bigger. I'm trying to get out of the way. And, right, are we ready? This is at Kentridge MRT station. And I'm going to put the volume up so it's not so soft, because it's being picked up by the microphone here. Alright, Here we go. This is the start of my journey with Adrian to the Southern Ridges. And we are at Kentridge Park MRT, and he just said he's always wanted to be a zombie walking in an MRT in a movie. I want to be in a zombie movie. He's already scaring some people there.
Just scare the aunties.
This is the movie. This is your movie. See, he's so shy. Come on, walk. Just walk. No, you're not. Just walk. Yes.
I fear getting arrested for everything in Singapore. I always think I'm getting arrested.
Times change. That's his cap. His cap says time change. Times change. It's really not bad. And that's a wrap. You have starred in your first zombie movie. That's a scary screeching thing. So we're here in the middle of nowhere, on the road though, so I thought we'd be on a nice bridge by now, but no, we passed some government thing with like big roller doors on the 5th story, which I don't know, could mean some military. Your observation, very good.
My observation, because I'm obsessed with military installations by the Singaporean government.
With a sign that says no monkeys. No, it actually says no bras? I have no idea. Go figure.
What do you guys think that sign means?
It probably means no overtaking, which is
warning, trail
closed. Please do not enter. Oh, that sucks because I would have loved to go up the trail, but scary.
Casualty
evacuation point. This was the trail. All right. Oh, look at Singapore. So nice. Trees and branches may fall. Take care. The climb in KL was not so littered with signs like that.
Yeah, I remember you being very scared during that climb.
Nature trail. We're also huffing and puffing. You've not exercised for quite a bit, right? This particular trip.
Maybe. If my agent's watching this, of course I've done exercise.
For your safety, do not enter the park during and just after a heavy storm. But what if it's before a heavy storm, which kind of looks like what's going to happen now? Anyway,
like all of last week in Singapore.
Vehicles, please. And there are always numbers to call. Amazing. And Adrian is looking up. What is he looking up? You're not answering me. You were like...
He is looking up. Oh my god.
See, you're not that camera shy.
Well, because you put a camera in front of me and I start being stupid rather than being
just a little
natural,
bit
I
into this
suppose.
area.
Doesn't this not look like Singapore?
Of the harbor already.
This does look like Singapore because this is
really?
like you get
It
like,
doesn't.
You get like a 90-degree angle like to either the other side from Sentosa. You can see the same area but from a completely different angle.
Taking a picture of the tourist.
It's
So
good though.
here you see the fitness park right down there.
So how many of you have
But
actually
there's
been
a
to this
little nice
walk and done the
flight of
whole
yellow
walk
stairs that
right
goes up
right up
here all
till
the way.
it's more than Harbourfront. I think
We're
it
gonna see
ends.
what's up there.
I don't know
And,
where it ends.
The flight
If they're
of
local,
stairs
my
also
guess
goes
is
down that
0.
way. What is it?
A bird on the shooting star.
Yes, Snow White. There is a bird. Talk to it. Oh, we have to hydrate now.
And then it started to rain really badly.
This lady
Yeah.
hydrating.
I don't know why
You see
I'm
that
Snow White, by the
sign?
way. I
I
think
wonder
it's
what
just
she's thinking.
Because Snow White-
I'm more reference.
Because Snow White talks to birds.
We're just gonna hide up
Oh, of
Literally
course.
zoomed in as the rain started.
I
here.
love her in
This in
Shrek
New
too.
Zealand?
So we met these termites on the
So much
stairs.
more in this moment.
What are they?
Don't fucking touch them. I've got pincers to tell you that much.
What are they?
My
Ants?
accent
No, I
goes
think
so
it's
weird in this part.
Yikes!
Oh my god, they're so big.
Wow. This path is actually
I
for
don't
once it
want to
actually
leave
is more gorgeous
Singapore.
in person
Aw.
than it is on the camera.
You're gonna have to tell us why you're in Singapore
You
too
actually have
later
to come
on.
here to see this and smell this wonderful
Why am I in Singapore? I
nature.
didn't think about
Oh
that.
wow! I think we found the Canopy Walk.
So this is the Canopy Walk. This is the one of the parts that I actually is a highlight for me that I want to go to. These Japanese, Adrian speaking Japanese.
It's out of context entirely.
It's the caterpillar. It's back.
I just get too
And then we
excited
see
about the caterpillar.
the caterpillar.
Hello,
There is
Mr.
a photo of
Caterpillar.
Sid Caterpillar
Focus.
around somewhere.
My camera
There are
is
lots of
lousy.
them. They're so big and green and fuzzy and squishy.
Mine's actually focused.
Not that we actually squished it, of course.
Hello, Caterpillar. Katie the Caterpillar.
I grew up with that movie.
Not Katy Perry.
Katie Pillar. So this is the view from the
We're
bridge.
such gigs.
It's a nice little chair here.
So the view is really nice.
And
They've built this bridge over
walkway.
all this forest, which is. I hope no
Also
one
explains some of the
was
fauna.
endangered too much.
In the building of
And
this bridge.
And this is lunch.
Synagogue,
We're almost
famous
finishing this
synagogue
video
from
already.
Venus at Venus Cafe.
Oh my god, this is so
Adrian is taking
good.
a photo. We have finished our
I swear I don't take
short,
photos of
very
my
short
food all the
hike, though,
time.
because
It's
it
just
started
I made a
raining. It's still
promise to
gonna
my
rain
colleague
tomorrow.
in my last job.
Then we're going for a movie with our friend Luke.
That's pretty much it. I'm gonna stop this video. So we usually do the favorite food place at the end of the health segment, but before we do
Oh my god.
more of the health segment, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I am going to, for the first time, recommend my favorite food, which I've never done. Right?
Really?
So
Okay.
I've never done. All my guests have done theirs, but you have to think of your one favorite food place in Singapore to
What?
to recommend. Yeah, you've been around, right? Think about it. Okay,
What do you mean I've been around?
you've been, you've been around Singapore. So my favorite food place you saw in that video is Venus Cafe. It's at United. What does UE stand for?
United Empire.
It's at UE Square. I'm not
United
sure what the E
Emirates?
stands for. UE Square. It's at
UAE.
Robertson Walk. It's very near there, and her pork sinigang soup on Tuesdays is amazing.
It's incredible. If you like Filipino food, it's so
love
good.
it.
It's the really when you saw me, like the entire like first 5 minutes, all I could do was just sit and be like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
He's like, I'm in heaven. I said I'm in heaven, but you said I don't want this to end. That's what you said, right?
Yeah. Well, that's when you know food's good with me. All I do is I just sit there for the first 5 minutes and I go really quiet, and I just every now and again, so people know I'm still alive, I just make sounds, and that's pretty much it. So if
Yeah,
your food shuts me up, it's good.
So, what is your favorite food place in Singapore to recommend?
I honestly can't pick one singular place, but
Really?
the one like type of place I like going to is hawker centers, and I think the reason for that is because it makes me feel less unwell for a start. But also on top of that, I think it really symbolizes like Singaporean communities. I think like you get to see a lot of diversity there. You see people coming together to enjoy food, and I think that's something that food should always be connected to. Is getting to spend time with people and people that you love, and enjoying good flavors and the diversity that is there, because you see the diversity in the people, but you see the diversity in the food as well.
Right. On the other extreme, though, it's not as community because we're so vicious about chopping our seats, right?
Right.
So have you heard of these tissue packets that we use?
Right.
You can buy tissue packets that
And you leave the
says
tissue packets
"Choke,"
on the seat?
and you leave it on the seat, and then you go buy your food.
Because like, this is my seat!
Right.
Don't touch it!
You felt funny about, because we ate some other place and we just put our bags down there to go buy stuff.
Yeah.
And you felt a bit funny about leaving, like, why did, it's not so much about it being stolen because Singapore is so safe.
Yeah.
What was it you felt funny about?
Well, this is the thing, is like, I actually felt funny on the bus today when we were coming home, just now actually even,
Right.
because it's a bit, when I'm a tourist in a country, like I'm not actively living and working there, then I feel like I have lesser rights than people around me. So like I never sit on the MRT.
Right.
Never sit on the MRT. Even if it's unless it's like completely empty, then I'll sit.
Right.
But even if there's like 75% only taken, I still wouldn't sit.
But then what were we going to do with that food that we ordered then? We would have to sit somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you're feeling funny about.
Yes.
It's not the fact that we were not there, because at least if someone was there, then it's like, yeah, sorry, these seats are taken. It wasn't that. It was just
more that like there are other people that are coming, like they're in their work day, they live here, they pay taxes here. I mean, I pay tax on the things that I
Also
buy
considerate.
and my flights and stuff, but I just don't want to be like, I just want to put out like a good image for tourists, and particularly Angmo tourists, because being a Kiwi, we get lumped together with some other like Angmo countries that may not be as considerate. Or
which countries are these that you don't like? Must be the neighbor. It's always the neighbor. The U.S., Canada, Australia, New Zealand.
Australia? Who's Australia? No.
Malaysia,
I
Singapore.
don't think I've even seen an Australian here in Singapore, but exactly. It's always I just want to have a good image for
you don't
tourists
want to
in general.
you don't want to end up having people be angry at you or even shoot you dead, like what we saw this Kiwi being shot dead today, and we saw Quentin
Kiwi, my
Tarantino's The
ass.
Hateful Eight today, and there's this girl
Who has
who's
a
in the
Kiwi
movie.
accent.
Oh, you don't think? I think
Most
Aussies
Australian thing I've ever heard, I reckon.
Really? So you
Yeah.
think Australians don't sound like New Zealanders?
Oh, they do. They sound a lot like New Zealanders to
Right.
people outside of the countries. But as soon as I heard the accent, you were like, what accent is that? I'm pretty sure that's... And I was like, it's Australian. And then sure enough, later on, they're like, I'm from New Zealand. I'm from Auckland.
And then...
Yeah. And never mind the fact the movie's set in like the 1600s when New Zealand didn't even exist yet. So that makes perfect sense.
Right.
Good one, Quentin Tarantino. Continuity, buddy.
And going back to food, you said, you do love your food. And in terms of fitness-wise, you revealed something that you're saying, like, you're an emotional eater.
I was like, where are you going with this? Yes, I'm an emotional eater. Yeah.
Now, how does that work out? Because I never understood that. I'm such a skinny person. Food is not my natural go-to when I'm upset. In fact, I eat less. So, how does that work? My head looks so big when I'm wearing a hat.
So big.
It's so disproportionate to my body. I need to sit back a bit.
Yeah, sit back.
How does that work? Why?
How does that work?
I mean, have you had any, like, did you read up on it and stuff, or like?
No,
why is it? Oh, I guess it's comfort food. I guess I'm asking a question that most people already know the answer to, but because I don't do it, I'm interested.
Well, it might be,
why.
I think different people have different reasons for it too. Like, there are people that would probably go back to it because of the fact that they're fat, and then it kind of like loops in and becomes an issue.
Right, but as a model though, like...
Yeah, it's not a wise move. It's something that you try to avoid, and I've gotten better with it, I think, personally. But it's basically just a case of I enjoy food. I eat a lot of the time anyway. Like when I'm bored, I'll eat. If I'm tired, I'll probably eat.
Well, you don't seem to have any problem. So how do you get rid of it? Like, does it go anywhere?
Youth. No. It does. It goes to my ass. I have an ass like J-Lo and Kim Kardashian combined. No. I do, like, the exercise that I do generally is actually a method for kind of keeping where I'm at, rather than sort of trying to get ahead. So kind of my eating balances out with that. And when I do end up like doing some sort of emotional eating of some sort, which I don't do as much these days, and I've been really good in Australia and Singapore during my travels, because hot climates aren't good for eating.
Right.
But yeah, basically the exercise just comes into play to wear that off, and age will probably catch up with me. I might start getting fatter when I'm older.
Do you
in which
think?
case I have to, yeah. Well, I'm more, so
Right.
But
I don't know when it's supposed to catch up with me, because age is supposed
it's
to.
not going to catch up with you.
I
You're
mean,
Asian. You'll hit
I've
Asian.
seen some of my
Your
peers.
No, because you'll hit what's known as Asian menopause, which is you'll be like really, really hot, and you'll be sort of 20 until you hit 50.
Really?
And then you hit 50 and be like, wham! And that's when the brakes come on.
Oh,
and
gosh.
then suddenly you're like
I think you just scared half the viewers away with that whim.
Sorry, yeah, I just bust the mic. Sorry, guys.
No. So okay, well then, so what do you naturally tend to eat when you, is that a particular kind of stuff? Like when you're really upset, like is it like chocolates?
No, it's just whatever I end up having a craving for at the time. Although when I was in university, I used to binge eat a lot of like these chocolate caramel things you can get in New Zealand, just to, and that was less about the food and more about the sugar, because I was pulling all-nighters for essays, so I just binge eat sugar so that I'd be buzzing all night.
So tell us, if we do visit New Zealand, what is the one place we should go to for food, or a type of food that we should try?
Okay, type of food. What you really need to do is try to end up staying with a local family who's European Kiwi, because if they're not European, they would never make it.
So they would cook.
If they had guests, they'd probably cook.
Right. Oh, as in like for them to take you places and stuff.
It'd be more. You'd want to meet with a local family so that they can cook for you, and what they'd be cooking for you is just a roast, basically. So roast is like a really core Kiwi concept of just getting lots of vegetables and a nice big chunk of lamb or chicken, sometimes beef as well, and it just gets roasted sort of on it. We have what we call a Sunday roast, basically. Used to be like a sort of a family time thing in New Zealand back in the sort of colonial days.
Yeah. And do you like the Australians, because you have unique animals? Like I remember being in Australia and I actually ate crocodile and kangaroo. Do you do any of that?
You could try to eat a kiwi, but you'd probably be arrested and fined probably like $10,000, I'd say.
No, so that's not legal, so that's out of the but do you actually eat kangaroos or crocodiles too?
You can go to a place that supplies from Australia, but of course we don't have any crocodiles or kangaroos or snakes or dangerous spiders or anything that can kill you in New Zealand. So, no, there's nothing that we eat apart from sort of the regular stuff, sheep.
Okay.
Given that there's 10 of them to every one of us, we've got to, bring the numbers down.
Tell us a little bit more about your health watch here that you have.
My health watch. Yes, my Fitbit.
How does it work?
Okay.
Why did you buy it?
Why did I buy it? Because Mum said, would you like a Fitbit? I've got too many Flybuys points.
How do you spell it?
Flybuys is like a
Flybuys?
rewards card thing. Flybuys was the reward system that she got us on.
Okay.
So Fitbit. So Fitbit, Fitbit.
Right, and how does it work?
So throughout the day, it tells me the time, how many steps I've taken, what my current heart rate is, which is always good for me because it tells me when I'm starting to panic about stuff. I get a little bit anxious, I think, when I'm traveling. So sometimes I'm like...
Tells you your heart rate?
Yeah, it tells me my heart rate. So like right now I'm sitting on 58, which is pretty standard.
Which is much lower than your heart rate just now. So we'll go to this later on, but we were playing a game. I am amazed at how technology has improved. Maybe I'm just like behind the curve, but I think I'm quite a hardcore gamer. So I'm actually surprised. We had these 3D glasses on. It's not the Sony virtual reality or the Oculus Rift, which is even better because you can look all around. This one is just a screen ahead of you.
Yeah.
And already there was like wind blowing in the back of your neck, and there are sensors on both controls where you shoot, and the sensors pick up your pulse. And if you panic, was it a penalty, or you get like less?
Basically, you're like trying to not panic during it because you're getting attacked by like zombies and like mutant beasts and stuff. But you've got like the whole machine is vibrating. And you've got
so what happens if you panic though?
And 3D glasses. I think it's just less points. Like you're trying to compete between the two to see who can get their heart rate down.
Right.
Because of course you had 6 panics and I had 5. So I won in the first one and then died before I got to the second one. But,
So it's pretty interesting. So your health, it's 59 is much lower. You were sitting at about 69, 70, and when we panicked, it went up to like 90, 100, right?
I was on like 120 at one point.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I got that high.
I was on about 114, I think.
It's crazy. So it was called, what was this game called? I forget. Something.
I think it's a 3D Nightmare Mansion or something like that.
Right.
Yeah. It's pretty common, and I mean, I've seen it in New Zealand and Japan.
Really?
So it's around, yeah.
We played this one at Plaza Singapura, so you want to check that out. And we'll talk more about games. We might even play a bit of games if we have time on my Wii U right here. The Just Dance game. I hope you guys don't get too bored, but like... you won't be able to see what's on the screen. I wish I had that converter, but for now you'll be able just to see us dancing, and if we are too different in dancing, then you'll probably know... I don't know, it's hard to figure out who's wrong, who's right, I guess.
Yeah, I think from watching, I think what you should do is give them a place to just pause very briefly so they can say or guess themselves who they think at the end is the better dancer. And
and then we'll see who wins, right?
Who actually wins.
Exactly. So I'll be watching this live as I broadcast this, and I will be writing to you guys. So it's actually, you'll have more attention from me, in fact, if you're watching Dwat, or Jayron. Anyhows, so let's wrap up the food segment with a game. Bean Boozled! It's still going on. Yes. If you don't know how it works. Well, basically, what we do is we choose a color. We both choose the same color. And this color has a yucky flavor and a nice flavor. So, in this case, it doesn't mean that one will get the other. It could mean that both get the nice flavor, or it could mean that both get the yucky flavor. Right?
Okay. Yep. And I have had these before, actually.
You have?
Yep. My little brother vomited.
Seriously?
Yep. He literally
What
threw
did he
up.
get? What did he get? Do you remember?
He got barf flavor, I think.
Oh, barf is pretty...
And then he was just like, and I was like, that is...
He barfed on his barf.
Yeah,
flavor.
pretty much. Yeah.
That is the only flavor I haven't actually gotten, because every time I play with people...
I'm scared now.
Like, people get the barf flavor, and I twice, I think, who was it? I think Julian got barf, and someone else got, I think, I can't remember. But anyhow, we're going to play it. And we've got two colors in here. Oh no, they're slightly different. I thought I chose two yellow ones, but they're two different yellow ones. So you're gonna pick one.
Is there another packet?
No, it's alright.
Okay.
Pick one.
Oh my god, decisions.
Don't smell it.
Oh god, okay, I'm gonna go with this one.
Okay, so he's got the lighter yellow one. I've got the...
Oh, and they're even slightly sticky. Yummy.
Yellow one. Alright, so the lighter... Let's see now. Which one's which now? I would say... So
moldy cheese or caramel corn.
Yes, you're going to have either moldy cheese or caramel corn. I'm going to have either rotten egg or
Actually,
buttered popcorn. Okay, so...
Like, good mold on cheese is a good thing.
True.
So he's hoping this is just like a piece of camembert, right?
Yeah. I shall go first.
You're gonna go first?
Yeah.
There you go.
So mine is buttered popcorn or rotten egg. Oh, I don't think I've had rotten egg before.
Rotten egg.
Oh my gosh.
Rotten egg. Rotten egg. Good way to lose weight, vomiting. I mean, I don't endorse that message at all. Just got really sick once and lost like 10 kilos in 2 weeks. But
I think it's rotten egg.
Oh, and there we have it. Wait. Can't smell it.
It's not that bad.
You could.
It's probably not as bad as the barf or the skunk spray, so... Alright, what do you have?
I got dog food in Australia, and the rest of the...
love the dog food
And
one.
the rest of the car could smell it.
Really?
they were gagging before I was. Alright. Oh, dear God. Ah.
What'd you get?
It's not caramel
You
corn.
got caramel corn then?
No, I didn't.
Then it's buttered popcorn.
It's not that either. It's fruity.
That's weird.
That is so weird. I think I probably got like a mismanufactured bean.
Jelly Belly, what's going on? I complain, I'm Singaporean. Why your bean is like...
They tasted like pear.
Wow. Oh, juicy pear.
So I think I got juicy pear, which the opposing one could have been booger.
Booger, right.
Not that it was green, it was yellow, but hey. Who's complaining? Yellow pears, nashi pears, Japanese. The beans know what's happening. That's what it is.
Alright, so now we are in the next segment.
Sure.
Which is the technology segment. So we can talk about games and technology. We were talking a little bit about your watch anyway.
Ah, nice. Yeah, it's a nice little segue.
So tell us, gamers out there as well, feel free to write. And by the way, if you're watching us on Facebook from that link, if you want to be able to talk or type to me, please click on the link itself so that it brings you to YouTube. And only in YouTube can you type and write to us and chat to us. And while you're there, please subscribe to the channel, of course. Yes, so more on technology. As a gamer, let's see now. What drew you to gaming? And how would you explain to people out there who don't understand what the fascination is?
People who don't understand.
And what maybe benefits
Benefits,
there
right.
are.
What drew me to gaming? When I was 5, I was given a Nintendo 64, which I just sold for like $300 before I started traveling.
Wow.
So they're worth a bit. Keep hold of those. I was given a Nintendo 64. I had barely had much interest in gaming before that, and it was kind of just given to me, and away I went. You know, from there I started playing like wrestling games on that, and kind of things started to build and evolve. And through primary school, actually, for a long time, I wanted to be a game developer.
Wow.
Yeah, like not actually like game developer. Like I wanted to be involved in new technology. So one of my ideas when I was only like 10 was to create like a 3D cage that you could step into. And with fighting games, you could create your own character that then you could make moves for, like within the senses of this cage. And what's funny is that at the time, that technology seemed so distant and so like, whoa. Because I remember my teacher being like, that's a nice idea. Like, that'll never happen.
But now...
And then nowadays, it's like the technology's there and beyond pretty much if they wanted to. It's just that...
So what games allow you to create games?
Games...
There's Minecraft, right?
There's Minecraft. I mean, even with games like Tekken now, though, which is a long-standing fighting game that I've loved for pretty much as long as I've been able to walk, you can now customize your characters and develop them in different ways. We've been playing a lot of Super Smash Brothers, where you can develop your own characters and develop their moves and earn money to then, customize further.
Lots of customization,
Yeah, and so, like, being able to get more, clothes and, of course, being related in fashion and stuff like that as well. For me, it's, two worlds combining in that sense, so I can have cool characters and dress them up and all that stuff. Like, I'm not dressing dolls.
But people who don't like games or don't understand it might go, so what's good about that? Why do I have to customize stuff?
The common thing that I think most people look to is they say, like, they look at it and they go, oh, well, you're just trying to, like, escape to some fantasy world. And it's kind of like, yeah, but so are people that do drugs. So it's kind of like, I feel like it's a lesser vice of the two. Like, I'm not saying I want to do drugs.
And that's why you play games, just because it's a lesser vice?
I'm not wording this well. No, because the other thing is, too, is that games these days are becoming more and more involved, and they are probably... That's probably what it's playing on, actually, is that it's starting to draw people more into the game. No longer do you have to sit here now with just a controller like this. You can actually... as people are probably going to watch if we do end up doing this dance game, is that you get up and you can actually move around, and with the internet now, there's all this connectivity that allows you to interact with other people.
Right.
So for me, I was an only child, so that's probably why.
So there's a community too.
Yeah. So being an only child as well, for me, like, I grew up with games as like something to play with because I didn't have anyone else to play with, as sad as that sounds. So nowadays too, it's developing and growing to the point whereby even if I move to China, I can still play with people in Japan or in Bangladesh or different places around the world.
Yeah,
and it's another way of meeting people, really, and sharing common ground. And I think it's it's a safe ground to be sharing commonality in versus things like sort of drugs and alcohol and smoking. Everyone has a vice, I think, and I think it's just one of the better vices to have, I suppose.
Yeah. And there are different types of games for different types of people. There are games that are creative in the sense that you get to create and customize things and build things like The Sims. There are games where you get to just hack and slash, There are word games, puzzle games. So, there's Candy Crush and, different things like just shoot 'em ups. And so they're
sports.
Driving, exactly.
I've never understood sports games.
Me neither, but,
Each their own, I suppose.
Each their own. In any case, and some of these games are so big that they have tournaments. It's actually now treated as a sport. Yeah. Gaming is actually a sport now.
And you see the people that are like the best in gaming, you'd think they'd be like these really like... Because they've got, just after I moved to Shanghai, they're going to be having the Dota World Championship there in Shanghai. So I'm probably going to be stuck in amongst gamers for a while. But you'd think...
And Disney freaks, because Shanghai Disneyland is opening. Sorry, that would be on my Disney channel. So if you haven't heard, I have a Disney YouTube channel as well under Disney Dwayne. Go subscribe to that if you love Disney, Mickey. But I doubt. If you say Mickey Mouse, I'll just be like distracted all the way.
Yeah.
Sebastian does that to me. He's like, look, Mickey Mouse, and I'm like, and he's like, gotcha. Anyhow, so yeah, there are all kinds of these games. I'm gonna put a link on the video description below. This is a video that actually is very. It has changed a lot of how I look at gaming. It sort of also reiterated exactly how I feel, but I just never had the way to express it. And this expresses it really, really well. It's a TED Talks video. I don't know if you guys heard of TED Talks.
Right. Wow. Okay.
And this girl talked about how gaming is good for you.
I would argue it is. There is actually research that says that your cognitive ability is actually
your reflexes are faster.
Yeah.
You breathe through more intense situations. You're able to think clearly, and there's a sense of community. There's a sense of challenge and not giving up, which applies to life as well.
I think the point where it starts to become an issue is when it starts to take over day-to-day things. Like if you don't shower anymore, then you've got an issue. If you stop eating, you've got an issue. If everything you eat comes from McDonald's because you can't be bothered cooking, you've got an issue. So yeah.
But in the but then sometimes when you're playing a game, like I play World of Warcraft, I'm kind of inducting him into it slowly. But there are times where you get cheated, and people sort of like betray you. I mean, not to get into too much of a complex story, but and then you get angry about it, and some of your friends say, yeah, it's just a game. Why are you so upset? What do you say to that? Is there a reason to be upset because it's just a game? Or is it not just a game?
Oh, see, I'm in two minds on that one, because I think to a degree it is just a game, and you do have to, like, there are so much more important things in life. And I can't believe I'm saying that as someone that loves to game, but there are bigger issues in the world. But at the same time, you have invested a lot of sort of time, effort, and in some cases money into that situation. Right. So if your return isn't quite what you were hoping for, or you put in a lot of effort but you get let down, you kind of But I guess that's another part of it too, is that in life there are parts where, despite investing time, effort, and energy, things don't go the way you wanted it to.
Exactly.
And so, I guess it's a good reflection in that sense too, like you're saying, the benefits.
Yeah.
Is that you then learn how to actually deal with situations that don't go the way you want.
Exactly.
So,
I feel that
pretty good.
As long as you invest time and effort, and there's human relations involved, and if there's sort of a unreasonable or unjust behavior, then it is valid, even though it's just a game. It's not about the game, it's about the human relationship, and it's about the system. So to me, it is valid. So the next time you say it's just a game to someone, have a think.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my opinion, of course.
Yeah. Well, as you're saying, like you would, even in real life, if something like that happens, you would still be upset. But you do have to move on from that at some point in time too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And games are good. Like this lady who was talking in the TED Talks, she was saying how it actually she had hit her head. She had this concussion, and any sort of bright light or any kind of movement was really painful for her to do.
Wow.
And she actually came up with a game for herself. So like to walk around the block once would be like plus 10, and then like she would have like all these like different things, challenges, and then she would just try. So gaming in a sense, it applies. Actually, if you know how to apply what you do in gaming to real life, you might even do better in real life than you would normally do, because in gaming you don't give up as much. In real life you're just like, I don't even want to try sometimes, but in gaming you're like, what do I have to lose, right?
Yeah.
And you just go for it, and you
which is actually a very real reflection of life.
Yep. And you try to find different angles to one problem. That's that video changed my life. Just how I look at it. So I'm gonna put the link. I hope I can still find it. Amazing TED Talks video about gaming. What else? All right. So why don't we play some Wii?
Okay, sure.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny you're saying about the gaming for health benefits. My ex actually is involved in a funding project at the moment for a Japanese game. I'm not sure about how much of this I can talk about.
Right.
But basically, like, there's some game that he was helping them get funding for that was going to help. I think it was help Japanese kids with social issues or literacy issues or something like that. So
Right.
it was. I don't think it was literacy, because literacy has been done with gaming before. It was something quite new. So I think it might have been kids with social issues. So basically, using gaming, which would usually traditionally be seen as an introverted task or an introverted activity, to then make them more extroverted, which is interesting.
Right.
Trying to use gaming for
No, I'm sure
extroverted.
some of that, like even kids just watching movies, sometimes something about, I think actually Jason Scott Lee, when I interviewed him, told me that a kid watching Jungle Book
I was having a moment with Jason Scott Lee there.
A kid watching Jungle Book actually responded, like an autistic kid or something. Like he kind of came out of his shell watching the animals and watching Jason perform. And so special that way. Do you hear it? It's Just Dance we're playing. Press A to continue.
Just Dance 2014.
We're going to do Nicki Minaj's Starship.
Oh my god, are we going to have enough space in here for this?
All right.
Yeah, as long as that's going on. Actually, for half the time, I actually find that it works better for me if I pay less attention to what this is doing, and I'm just like
Really?
getting into it. Or as soon as I relax, and I'm just.
Let's come back to the interview. Let's get your chair back. Let's push this back. Let's make sure the bed's more in order.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. Cool.
Oh my dog.
We're gonna play another game since we're on this, and the Dwayne's spin stop is full of games in general.
Yeah.
If you didn't already know. This
Kicked my
next
phone
game
away
is Truth or Lie. You know this game?
Oh god.
You've seen some of my other episodes, right?
Yep, but there is a dangerous version to this game that I've played when drinking.
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you not played
yeah,
this game?
Truth or
Have you not
Dare.
played this as a drinking game?
Not Truth or Dare though. This is Truth or Lie.
Oh,
So you're gonna have to take something out of your bag over there.
Oh gosh, I think it was Never Have I Ever. Anyway, yep.
Show it to the audience,
Okay.
and I'm not gonna see what it is.
I have a lot of bags.
Any bag.
Any bag.
Any
okay,
bag.
Can you check me that one?
Okay.
I may or may not already have something in mind for this.
Okay. I'm not gonna see it.
Okay.
So, and then show it to the audience, and what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna describe to me what it is.
Okay.
You can even tell me what it is, and then I have to decide whether you're telling the truth or lying.
Okay.
Get it?
Yeah.
All right. Meanwhile, I'm gonna stick my head in this meditation and health magazine.
Ha,
Meditation, by the way, is very good for you.
Not product placement at all.
Not product placement at all. Meditation is
So-
a way of life. It can't be a...
It is a way of
Product.
life. This is the item that I shall be discussing, presenting. Cha-chan! And I think this is probably a good item. Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Okay.
So you want me to describe the item?
Yes.
Okay, it's very heavy.
Okay.
It's very heavy. It's made of metal,
Okay.
incredibly heavy, and it's covered in glitter. Yep. Do you want me to do I tell you what it is? Is that
You
ruining
can.
the game?
You can
Okay.
tell me what it is.
So it's a ferry.
A ferry?
Yep, I carry a ferry around in my day bag.
It's very heavy.
An incredibly heavy, covered in glitter ferry.
Why would you carry a ferry around? You're gonna... You're trying to make me think that you're lying because there's no such thing as a ferry.
Says who? Let's see, it could be a real item that I carry around that's like, oh gosh, that's interesting, why would you do that? Or it could just be that I just held out a piece of tissue and was like, haha! Right, no, that's not how the game works now. That's not how it works, is it?
No, you could hold out a piece of tissue and describe a ferry, so...
Oh, okay.
But since you don't know...
Am I lying? Am I not?
I
Woo! Think about the mind games that I'm able to play here, though.
I think you are telling the ferry heavy.
Truth or lie? Heavy ferry?
Heavy? The
Heavy
bag
metal
wasn't
ferry?
heavy. I passed you the bag.
You did pass me the bag.
I'm gonna say you lie.
You think I lie?
Yes.
Tell me how much this weighs to you. Does this weigh a surprising amount for how
Oh my gosh.
the size of it?
Oh yes, it is very heavy.
It is very heavy,
And
isn't
it
it?
is a ferry, and
And
it
it
is
is a
full
ferry.
of glitter.
It is. Is that not the gayest thing you've ever seen?
Oh, they've seen it.
They have seen it, yeah. So the reason I
Wow,
carry
this
this
is the second
around-
time I've lost.
This
The
is-
reason you carry this is because...
it's the second time you've lost. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I win! Okay. No, I feel this requires explanation, and I have absolutely zero shame in carrying this around, despite being the somewhat masculine, relatively straight gay guy that I like to claim that I am. This was given to me by my grandmother, who's still alive, so don't cry for me, Argentina. But my nana likes fairies and dragons and things like that, and so when I first travelled to Japan, my mum actually gave me a cow, like a stuffed toy cow, which is really, really cute.
Moo.
Moo. Interrupt the
Interrupt the cow.
And that cow's travelled everywhere with me, pretty much, and has been with me the whole time. And my mum said to me, you'll never be alone. You'll always have, you'll have this cow to talk to and all the rest of it.
Okay.
I've got Skype to talk to her too, but, sentimental stuff. My family's a bit like that. And my nana gave me this fairy.
Ah,
So
so you
this
have
one-
the cow and the ferry with you.
Yeah, the cow would fill my, an entire pocket in my bag. It's, yay high. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, it fills up a fifth of my bag space, my massive luggage bag space, but I demand that it goes everywhere with me. My mum was
Wow.
like, don't take it to China with you, it's going to take up too much
But
space.
you are going.
No, but it's coming with me. It's really important to me, so...
Interesting. Wow.
I have a habit of connecting emotions and sort of, I guess, spirituality within my family to objects, so
Right.
that's my
Wow.
fairy, which goes around with me, and always reminds me that, this is what my nana said. She said, I'll always be with you.
Wow.
So,
Aww.
yeah. I
Cool.
love my family like that.
All right, that's it. We're wrapping up the technology and game segment. We're going on to entertainment now. First up, I want to find out how you feel about New Zealand being the place for Lord of the Rings. Have there been other movies that have recorded? Or like, what?
No,
as a New Zealander, like
I have a dirty secret about Lord of the Rings.
Okay, tell us.
Oh god, I think I'm gonna lose my New Zealand passport.
No, then don't.
I've
really all Kiwis know the secret?
No.
All right, then think about it.
So,
think about it. But like, what do you feel? Oh, wow, now I want to know.
I've not seen Lord of the Rings.
Oh,
oh my gosh! I'm gonna lose my New Zealand passport. They're gonna
but all the attention has there been more visitors? Have there been more visitors?
In the immediate aftermath of Lord of the Rings, there was a huge increase. It like doubled our economy in terms of tourism in the space of the years following, I think. And I have actually been out to the Lord of the Rings site.
You have?
Yeah, because I worked in tourism, and it's actually not that far from my hometown. It's like 10 minutes, like 10, 15 minutes drive. To the actual farm where most of it was shot, where they have the Shire and the hobbits are all like, oh look, I'm a hobbit. Yeah, that area is all about 15 minutes drive. So
did they meet your ferry?
No, they didn't. They did not meet my ferry. Didn't take it along with me. But nice. Yeah, no, it's done a lot for New Zealand tourism. And I used to be in the tourism industry, so I endorse myself as a source of this information.
Right, you'll have to take me around one day if I do visit. I would love to see which sites.
I love taking people around New Zealand.
But then you'd have to watch the movie also to be able to talk about it more, right?
Oh, you mean the Lord of the Rings? I just meant sites in general. But yeah, we can do Lord of the Rings sites. They're all quite centralised, actually.
Sites,
There's like 3 places in New Zealand you need to go to, and that's it. So
and it's just open. That's where the Shire was and everything.
It's not just open. It looks really open,
right?
Like when you look at videos and stuff. But it's actually you have to go to a town called Matamata, which is also now sort of like half-named Hobbiton.
Really?
Yeah.
They changed the name.
Well, like there's a giant sign that says "Welcome to Hobbiton." But the funny thing is that when you're in tourism, people come up and like I used to work with German tourists and like, excuse me, I want to make the traveling to the Hobbiton, and you're like,
right,
Hobbiton. So you want to go to Matamata? And they're like, no, I want to go to Hobbiton. And you're like, okay, which is in Matamata. And they're like,
well, they won't
know. Hobbiton. And you're like, oh, okay, yes, okay, I'm sending you to Hobbiton.
What are you saying about Germans, huh?
No, they're just we're talking kids in general.
Right.
But yeah, most people don't. My point is that most people don't actually realize that Hobbiton and Matamata are actually the same place. Because, no offense to Matamata, it's kind of outside of Hobbiton. There's not a lot there.
Right.
But
okay. All right, and then now we're going to get into the main topic of this entertainment segment, which is modeling.
Yay!
As a career, how?
As a career?
As a career, I mean, is it a good viable option for a career? How many people are in the industry? Is there a lot of competition? How do you feel? Does it make you insecure? Lots of questions there. So, rattle on,
which I'm great at. Modeling, gosh. How do I feel about modeling? Can you make it? Is it a viable career? No. Flat and simple. I don't think it's really a viable career these days.
Not for everyone, though.
Generally not at all. Like
even
for
if
anyone
you're,
anywhere in
the
world, really.
Even if you're like doing.
If you're successful,
the fashion weeks and everything.
Fashion weeks is nothing, to be honest. I am friends with the someone to protect their identity who works for Banana Republic, and he was telling me that the models that they use for New York Fashion Week, which is like the fashion week of
I stood outside the Lincoln Center where they had Fashion Week one time, and I saw all these people dressed up.
Wow.
Just like, I was there, and just all these people dressed up and just walking around, and it was just like, it's so really cool. It's cool, but at the same time, I'm like, wow, there's just so much
money,
pretense also. Like, there's just so much of a, I don't know, it's like, it may not be a facade, but it's definitely
better that feeling,
a different feel. It's like a whole different world, and it's almost like anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot
of dressing up, and it's just there's a lot of
Wait, does this translate around the world? I just think that this means
snobbiness.
Okay,
of course.
So that wasn't just a New Zealand thing.
So anyway, so you're saying even for Fashion Week you don't get paid a lot?
Oh yeah, so New Zealand, New York Fashion Week, the male models that are used for brands there are only getting paid about $1,000 for like the entire week or something like that, apparently, or for each show or something, which is for me is like, really. I mean, I've been paid like maybe 400 maybe for a day's worth of shows, or like 2 shows in a day or something like that. So it's kind of like, well, they really financially, despite the massive amount of effort I'd have to put in before I was at New York Fashion Week, and let's face it, that's probably not something that I can foresee in the immediate future, that amount of effort that would have to go in is not proportionate to the amount of money you're going to be paid more for all that effort. So
Right.
I don't really see it as a viable career.
And do you feel because it's also because people accept money for cheap, agents don't fight hard enough, and there's plenty of models to go around? Do you feel everyone's like replaceable, or do you, or is considered replaceable? But on the other hand, do you feel that people have different looks and shouldn't be considered replaceable? Because they do that, right? They do pick out some people and they go, this person's so unique, and they look so unique in a certain way. Do you feel generally that people are unique, or that there's like people just generally look the same, or people treat them the same?
The whole uniqueness thing is becoming, it's in my opinion, it's getting out of hand, actually. Like there was one girl at New Zealand Fashion Week. We went to castings for that, and there's a very large fashion blog that is known around New Zealand. I'm not going to name it, but they picked out this one girl, and for their entire coverage of this the New Zealand Fashion Week casting, there was something like 3 photos of her for like the 8 photos they had or something. So a massive amount going into her. Like she was this amazing model.
Right.
But she was just a very mousy looking sort of 16-year-old with ears that were out to like here.
Right. That's
like super out there. And then she was about 75% legs.
Wow.
But had a very, very short, squat torso. So she wasn't ugly by any stretch, don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with people having ears that stick out or anything, but it's sort of the ears thing is kind of like a thing that kind of came in the States, I think, and then left. And New Zealand, I think New Zealand's still kind of running along this idea of, what's really sort of weird or original or unique. Right. And that uniqueness has been driven to such a point now that I would consider myself more of a sort of conventionally attractive model. Like, I feel like I would have done better in the 90s than what I would in the current era.
Right.
Because nowadays it's all about like, that guy's nose is like twice the size of anyone else's nose. And generally people would look at that and be like, so that doesn't make them particularly attractive. But it's what they want for models now, because they don't want pretty. They want what is going to draw your attention, even if it means it's drawing your attention in a negative way. Right. Because it's kind of like whole thing of no publicity is bad publicity.
Right.
So
this is an in-joke, by the way. So circling auntie would be a great model because
I've actually seen someone that walked like circling auntie, and in her fashion week walk, she literally had like the Hunchback Notre Dame thing going down.
Wow.
She's just like stalking along the catwalk like.
Wow.
And she got in over other girls in my agency.
Jumping back to she was beautiful. Jumping back to technology, by the way. So as a developer, I just had this idea. Like people develop apps these days. So if you were that interested, you could. Now people can develop apps by yourself, right?
By yourself, yeah.
Pretty much. A lot of the production, like YouTube and everything, has gone to the consumer's hands. So, like, you could create a game, right? Wouldn't you do that? Could you easily create a game? And we were talking about, actually, this was another day, we were talking about how we would create an auntie game. Speaking of circling auntie.
For Singapore.
For Singapore, and we would have different types of aunties fighting each other, like and they would have different types of skills. Like you would have like hair auntie, tie auntie, who would like
got the perm,
suck you into her hair and mess you up for a bit, and what
she like her hair
auntie with
use it to, like,
specialized in handbags. She would like.
No, like the auntie with the groceries, she's got like she just throw the vegetables at you. The aunties, what are those? We had like the glasses auntie, she got like laser beams coming out of her eyes. Yes. Kind of like Cyclops out of X-Men. There's probably some copyrights on that one, but
and then we'd have what else? Like different kinds of aunties.
Like Hunchback auntie, she probably just like curls into a full ball and just rolls along the ground.
Like Sonic.
Just like Sonic, yeah. God. It's been done already. There's all these aunties hidden in real life games already.
We should explore that. We should. If there are any app developers out there who could just put our theory into something, please talk to us. We want to work with you. We want to create our own game. Yeah, as if, right? But anyhow, okay. So modeling and so back to modeling. Anything else to add about that in terms of so it's do you think it's a short-lived career too, like in terms of dancers also probably even shorter than that? Because I mean
it's shorter than dancers.
Is it very harsh? Do looks wear out? Do people get old and are immediately written off?
Yeah, you can get written off really quick. Like you do the wrong TV commercial and it can be the end of you in theory.
Really? Even without looking old, growing old. But does age?
It can just be like a really, really bad ageism. No, that's not the case. So in terms of, I'm sorry, a couple of really quick points to rattle off. And ageism stuck in my head now, so I'm going to roll with that. Ageism, the oldest model that was at New Zealand Fashion Week last year was 55.
Wow.
55.
So there's no ageism?
No.
Basically.
Not at all. And that's another thing, is it's like, if you put someone that's 55 down the runway, people are going to look at your clothes and be like, wow, she's a lot older than I'd expect from a model. But she was really good. She got a mean, fierce walk on her.
Wow.
She matched the clothes that were being presented, and she stood up just as well, if not better, than most of the models that were there. So,
Wow.
Ageism is out the window. Most of my friends back in New Zealand that are models are Korean. My two best friends, actually, for modeling are both Korean. And one's hopefully going to be coming to see me in China, maybe doing some modeling there. So, in the last couple of years in New Zealand Fashion Week, we've really seen a change in diversity now. So it's no longer a thing that you have to be Angmo in order to be, or white in order to be seen as, conventionally beautiful. There are now plenty of designers that would actually prefer and will choose African American or Asian or Latinos over picking white people. And despite that actually drawing down my chances, I love it. Because it's a true representation of the world, and it's not that being white makes you beautiful or superior in any way.
Right,
but
I
have
still
massive
see,
about that. So.
Right, but I still, when I flip through a magazine, I still see young, white models.
Yeah, and at the moment, I think that we're moving into that shift, but we're not there yet. So that shift is continuing. And I think also in New Zealand, you'd probably see more print. I think in print, it's probably it's lagging a bit behind the actual stage and catwalk modeling.
Right.
So there is a little bit of a delay on that one. But yeah, it's a hard thing to try and make a career out of, because even if you are successful, you're usually successful for one particular gig.
Right.
So there was a guy in a very rural town in New Zealand that was picked up, and he got given some French fragrance thing, wanted him on a year-long contract for a particular thing. So he went off and did this fragrance thing for a year, and he's got enough. If he sets himself up in that year, he's probably financially set for life.
Right.
But it's not going to turn into a career. He's going to have to occupy his time with something else. So is it good for you financially? Yeah, if you hit the big time, it's great. The money can be incredible. But that doesn't actually lead off into a long-term career, generally speaking. Okay. You might then become a TV presenter, perhaps. So it can lead into a career, but you kind of have to go off to the side of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's speak a bit of Mandarin right now. Mandarin is what you're going to learn, so you're not as versed as you are in Mandarin as you are in Japanese.
No.
Okay, let's start with Japanese then. Just a little
sure.
bit. Just maybe if you could tell us in Japanese what your favorite computer game is. One of your favorite computer, except for the title, of course.
Except for the title?
Yeah.
Oh god, that's the only thing I could say about the game in Japanese.
Oh, really?
Sure, okay. 俺の一番好きなゲームはもしかしたらプレイサン2だったっけ？プレイサン2で始まって、でそれから2、3、4、5、あとタグもあるんだよ。最近アーケードでこのゲームの7番も出たんだけど、それはシンガポールでやったんですけど、超面白いなんですよ。超面白い。マジでいいよ。
テッケン。
あ、わかった。テッケン。わかってるんじゃん。Did I say Tekken?
You said Tekken.
Oh shit.
No, I don't know. I'm just
I thought I got away without saying the word Tekken. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but yes, I was talking about Tekken.
Yeah, I got it somehow. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Well, I studied Japanese for a year, but nothing.
Also, I think also when I'm 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Counting's pretty easy. And people are probably quite aware of the fact that Tekken's up to Tekken 7.
Awesome. I've been to an arcade in Japan. Whole building, 7 stories, but they allow smokers in there, so that I didn't enjoy myself.
What arcade were you in?
I think it was at the what does it start with?
When were you in Japan?
Taito, 2 years ago. Taito,
is that
the
Taito, the 1800s?
The Taito building 2 years ago.
Taito
This is not pre-recorded that far back.
Right.
Anyhow, and then something in Mandarin now.
That should be illegal.
我现在可以用华语
可以啊。
跟你交谈，可以吗？我的华语也是不太好。但是你明白我在讲什么吗？
对啊，
你明白？
明白。
OK，懂啊，你懂。OK，那你最喜欢吃什么食物？
我最喜欢吃你妈妈做的饭。
哦，谢谢你 Adrian。All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. We have actually hit an hour. It's really fast,
God,
right?
It's so fast. I don't want it to be over. Just
All
like my time in Singapore.
We might do a special when I visit Shanghai. We might do a special episode. We can talk about more things.
Let's do it.
We can visit Shanghai Disneyland.
Oh my God.
And feature that. Anyhow, thank you for tuning in. This is a pre-recorded episode, so I'm not sure who our next guest is going to be. In any case, please be sure to follow Adrian if you enjoyed his if you're going to want to follow his adventures, if you enjoyed him being on the show. I'm going to include his Instagram as well as his. Do you have an official Facebook page?
I have a website. I have a Facebook page. I have an Instagram.
I'll include everything in the video description below, and of course, you can also. Please follow and subscribe to us on YouTube, Dwayne Spin Stop, as well as our Facebook page. You can follow that. Thanks very much. We'll see you again next week at the same time. I always encourage my guests to click the stop recording or stop streaming.
Oh, okay.
Say goodbye first.
Bye, guys.
Bye.